It's fundamentals time! Whoop whoop! That's right, it's time for fundamentals. For those of you guys don't know, fundamentals is a little thing we do where we answer a question that is needed in car audio. Now we're going to switch back over to here. And this is a basic question. This week it was brought to us. Someone asked this question in an Instagram show, and we're like, perfect. Here we go. What ohm load is safe for my amplifier? Now this question happens quite a bit actually, because now we have some weird stuff. Most speakers are standard ohm loads.
What's that, Lance?
2, 4, sometimes 8. However, times they be changing. We now have speakers at odd ohm loads, and this can be confusing. 3 point something, 6, 2 point something. How do we know if these loads are safe for our amplifiers? Well, it's actually easier than you think. Manufacturers will list their amplifier's minimum ohm load, and it'll look something like this. This is taken from an audio control amplifier, so we have outputs rated continuous at 14.4, 4 ohm, 100 watts times 4, 300 watts, 1 ohm. I'm sorry, yeah, 300 watts by 1, my bad. 2 ohm, 200 watts times 4, 500 by 1. If you bridge the two of a pair of the two channels at 4 ohm, which is all it can do, be 400 watts. Alright, that's not the important part of this. What it's telling us is that the lowest impedance it can handle is 2 ohms. Yeah, which I just said. Okay. Sorry, get excited. Ohm load is measured on a scale with 0 being the lowest. 0, or 0 spelled out, is also a dead short bye-bye amplifier. As the number goes up, 1, 2, 3, 4, there is less resistance put on the amplifier and it will produce less power. This is decided by the design of the amplifier. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people get excited and be like, oh, your amplifier will only do 2 ohms, or your amplifier, it won't do 1 ohm, which is actually the same thing, just said 2 different ways. That's not a bad thing. A 500 watt amp is a 500 watt amp. It doesn't matter at what ohm load it's giving you the 500 watts. It's just what the amplifier and the engineers decided it was going to do, and that's what you have. Using the example amplifier, it will handle ohm loads down to 2 ohms only. That means anything above 2 ohms will not be a problem. If you have a 3.4 ohm speaker, the amplifier will perform safely. You will also get more power than standard 4 ohm rating, but less power than the 2 ohm rating, because it's kind of right there in between. This is the most important slide coming up next. Side note, not all amplifiers are created equally. Just because an amplifier has a 2 ohm rating does not mean it will perform the same at lower ohm loads. It may reduce the sound quality doing so. I felt this was important to put in there because some amplifiers, even though they give you 2 ohm ratings, they don't like it. Most 4-channel amplifiers will give you the 2 ohm rating. However, you're going to suffer, all right? Because it's asking it to do something that, even though they gave you the rating, they really just planned on you running it at 4 ohms like most people are going to do. Some amplifiers are built to handle the 2 ohm load, the better ones. Just keep that in mind when you're like, hey, I'm going to go, slow it down, all right?